I've been in the real estate business for about 35 years. I came to work for my family's company, Randall H. Hagner and Company. Randall Hagner started in 1904, but actually it started in 1903 as a coal company. So they knew the city. They had relationships, they knew the city, they knew their customers, they knew who was moving, who was doing this and who was doing that. And it was probably a very nice way to start a real estate company.
Going back 3 generations, we are, to my knowledge, the only family who had 3 members serve as president of the association.
There have been many changes, of which most of these changes seem to have been impacted by technology and economic factors.
I think today we see a much more fast-paced environment. We have so many more tools to use today than we did in years past.
Imagine this, in 1979, if I wanted to show properties in Washington, D.C., and I had 3 properties to show on Capitol Hill and then maybe 3 properties in Chevy Chase, D.C., I would be spending a half a day driving throughout the city picking up keys, because at that time it was a huge, huge effort to obtain these keys and then to return them so other agents could use them.
The landscape of real estate has changed so dramatically since 1981, it's hard for people to describe. If you were to look at some of the areas of the Washington market that are now being developed and are occupied by folks who are moved in, it's hard to believe that that's happening, both on the commercial and residential side.
In the beginning, it was really all men, a business thing, and it was all men. And then women got into the sales of real estate.
I worked for my aunt, who succeeded my grandfather in that business. She was the first black to be offered the opportunity to join the association.
Things sort of opened up in the 60s for minorities in the city, I would think.
The DC Association leadership is much more reflective of our entire membership.
The advocacy that the consumer expects from a real estate agent is at a higher level, and the laws are more consumer friendly, and therefore realtors need to be much more aware of the laws. The paperwork is much more onerous, and a realtor just needs to be much more knowledgeable than they used to be.
Today, the buyer comes to the business to where they're ready to buy so well educated because they go online and they know financing, they know neighborhoods, they know schools, they know architecture, and they basically are already well around the curve when you meet with them.
Once you become a licensed real estate agent, then you need to learn how to be a real estate agent. That's the kind of thing that the District of Columbia Association of Realtors helps you do. It helps you move from being licensed to actually becoming a practicing real estate agent.
Realtors of today get extraordinary training. The classes that we take are geared toward the marketplace, toward protecting the rights of consumers, towards treating each other fairly. Our ethics is a very big topic in real estate. It's most important to us. It's basically the core of our profession.
One thing realtors can always count on is for DCAR to promote the legislative advocacy of realtors, in promoting legislation that protects homeowners, in promoting legislation that enables a real estate transaction to happen quickly, in promoting an environment where business people want to own property and create places for lower income people to live. There are just so many ways that DCAR has promoted home ownership and the business of real estate in Washington.
One of the most terrific aspects about the old Washington, D.C. Association of Realtors is that we now have a regional concept. We're now electronic, forms are electronic, signatures are electronic. It's very easy to pull listings up on your smartphone.
I've seen how important it is to have relationships with members and how important it is to be able to engage with them on a professional level. And I think that one of the things that I've begun to rely upon is their expertise in different situations. I think that it's the timelessness is being able to rely on people and have to have a professional relationship with them that it's hard to do if you don't have that network with them outside of that one transaction, that one opportunity.
When you focus on helping other people achieve their dreams and achieve their goals, you are enriched far more than with money because you are impacting people's lives.